If I was starting a newsletter business in 2024, then it would be a local newsletter business. And in fact, the next newsletter I will be building for myself will be local. In this video, I want to explain to you exactly what this opportunity is and why you want to consider it. We're going to talk about how that you can monetize this from day one. And we're going to talk about how you can get organic, that's free traffic, as well as paid traffic, and why paid traffic might not actually be that scary for local newsletters. So first of all, it is not saturated. And what I mean by that is, even if there is a local newsletter that is doing really, really well in your city right now, there will be a city somewhere near you or globally that you could target that would hit the numbers and the metrics you need in order to make this business work, which means that there is low competition. Because even though there might be a newsletter in your town, the chances that they are doing it properly and they've had the proper training like we give our clients and the people that work with us is probably very, very low. So there are two things to consider first. Plus, you can make six figures with this business model because there are people out there doing it right now with local newsletters, and it doesn't take a huge amount of time and effort in order to get this thing up and running. The other reasons that I would recommend it is the fact that you can start in any location with any audience with low competition. So you could break this down in any way, focusing on a particular area, then a particular audience, and you could just go after who you want to work with. You could go business, you could go with a general newsletter, you could go after sports. It's really up to you. The CPA, or the cost per acquisition, is cheap compared to other newsletters. So if you're going for AI, you're going for crypto, you're going for capital, something like that, then you will find that the cost per acquisition for paid ads is incredibly expensive compared to local. Local, you're able to get your subscribers, paid subscribers, a lot cheaper. And you don't need a massive list to start making money. Think about this. If you wanted to charge a plumber $50 per slot in your newsletter, you don't have to say, I have a list of 10,000 that you can get in front of. In fact, just saying I can get you in front of 50, 100, 200 people to a local plumber is going to massively increase their reach as a local business. So you can very, very quickly start working with local businesses and start making money from this business model. Let's talk about monetization, because we do want to know exactly how we're going to get paid from this business model. So you can run affiliate offers from day one. If you can find something general that would fit your market, then you can put those links in there straight away. And what we tell people is get those ads in your newsletter from day one, because we want people to be used to seeing ads and offers. Once you have started to get a few subscribers in, and we'll talk about that in a second, how you can do that, you can then run ads and sponsorships from day one, just like the plumber example that we talked about. If you have somebody that you know, somebody who's local to you, maybe someone who lives up your road, maybe a friend of a friend who offers a service, you could easily have a chat to them, and you can have a conversation, and you are able to make these connections. I spoke to somebody that I knew this week and said to them, hey, I'm doing a bit of market research on X. Do you have anyone in your network that I can talk to? And within about 2 hours, they'd come back to me and had two people that I'm able to talk to. One of them I have a meeting set up with next week. It is that easy. You do have these people in your network. You probably just don't realize it. So that's a very simple way to monetize. You're not having to do tons of cold email outreach in order to find big companies to work with to sponsor your newsletter. You can literally talk to the person up your road. So you can build up these sponsorships and ads with local businesses. You can start small, and then you can build up to bigger and bigger companies in the area. And as your newsletter gets known and as you get known, this will become much easier for you to do. And therefore you can set up recurring monthly income. So for example, when you get to these bigger companies, you'll be able to say to them, pay me X amount a year and I'll give you one advertising or one advert slot in my newsletter per month. They'll write you a check for that amount for the entire year, or they'll set it up on a monthly recurring, they'll pay you X a month per month for a 1 monthly slot, and you can put them into your newsletter. So it's really, really easy to monetize this. And like we said, we can do this from quite early on, and you can promote your own services. So if you have a service that you want to offer locally, that could be SEO, it could be web design, something like that, then what you're able to do is you are able to offer your services again in the newsletter from day one. And this is a way that you can start to network with people, put your services out there, and then make those connections and make more money. If you don't have your own services, but you want to start putting in links for things like SEO or web design that pays really, really well, you can white label it. So for example, you come to an agency like ours, find one locally to you or one that's online, and say, I want to start offering SEO or web design services inside my newsletter. Will you fulfill for me? And then you would just take a cut of that money. You would just take a percentage. So there's loads and loads that you can do there. So thinking about traffic then, one of the reasons why organic traffic is so much easier to get rather than if you were doing something big like an AI newsletter or a crypto newsletter or a parenting newsletter or something like that, is that you can access your own network, as we've already discussed. You can look at local networking groups. There'll be loads of local business networking groups that you could access and start to talk to and promote your services with. You can do cross promotion, so you can find people locally that have social media. So we set this up recently with a client that we work with, and we were doing cross promotions with their newsletter, and we were just saying, hey, we've got this newsletter, it's got X number of subs, you've got a similar number on your Facebook, do you want to do some cross promotion? And we were able to send traffic to each other, and that didn't cost any money at all. And it's very easy to find these people locally because you're actually engaging with these businesses all the time, or you can find them easily within your town or city. You can then use word of mouth as well. It's impressive how powerful it is when you just start talking to people about your newsletter and what it does and how it solves a problem or gives value, how many people actually sign up. And you can hit the streets as well, go around, knock on doors, let people know what you're doing. It's really easy to put together some simple flyers or business cards. I suggest you get something with a QR code on it that people can actually scan, that will take them straight to your sign up page. And then you're able to give these things out everywhere, stick them up wherever you can, and then the subscribers can start to come in. And you can, as we said before, if you want to promote your own services, you can build business connections and offer other services within your newsletter. Either white label it or do it yourself. Also, the SEO is easier, so writing articles and blogs, or even getting your own newsletters to rank and bring you traffic is much, much, much easier than if you went for something that's in a big niche. And social media is easier as well. So it's easier to bring those people in locally when you start a social media account for your newsletter. Again, you can use the same strategies above and to start bringing people onto your social media, and then from there move them onto your newsletter. However, you probably at some point when you start making money should think about reinvesting that back into your business, and doing that with paid traffic is actually much, much easier with local. The ad creative is simpler. You don't have to get really fancy with this kind of thing. You can get subscribers for a much lower cost per acquisition, as we mentioned before. You can get them for sort of less than $1, whereas with other niches, you're looking at several dollars for a subscriber, which means that your money is going to go a lot further. And because you need to hit a lower number in order to start getting those sponsorship slots filled, then you can get monetized quicker and you get your money back quicker. And you need a smaller budget to start with paid traffic overall. If you're looking at something that's in a bigger niche, quite a popular niche, you're looking at having thousands ready to go, because you're going to lose some of that money in testing, and you're going to do that with local as well, but you're not going to burn through money quite as quickly as if you were doing this with a newsletter in a bigger, more competitive niche. So there's some of the reasons why local newsletters are something that I think you should be considering when it comes to starting a business. There's a link down in the description if you want some more help and support with this. We've got tons and tons of advice, training, support, and software that can help you out with local newsletters. We'll see you in the next one.